Okay, I was typing in reviews on Goodreads of this stack of books I have right here that are from the spring catalog coming out, and I decided just to YOLO jump on to talk about them because some of these are so good, and I know not everyone is on Goodreads, so you might not see them there. So I like, yeah, you know how people will like do their hair and makeup and get dressed nice for like streaming? Not this girl. All right, so the first two I want to talk about are board books, and I really like them. This is MIT's Kids Press, and they have this series that they've got going. This Rock's Journey and River's Journey are two of them that I just got, and I think they might be the first two or the only two so far because I have not seen these before. Rock's Journey is like the rock cycle, and it goes through basically like erosion and how something can go from being a rock to being an ant. The I'm sorry, not an ant, a grain of sand. I don't know how I got that out of that. Anyway, what I like is that the story it's not truly a story. It's like story adjacent. I like that the text in it is something that maybe like a second grader could read or a third grader could read to a younger sibling and they both learn about the rock cycle. I really like that. The English teacher in me loves the onomatopoeia, loves the rhyming. So there's a rhythmic text. The illustrations are fine. They're not amazing, but they are what they are. They're appropriate for what they are, right? If I'm reading a nonfiction picture book, I'm not looking for the same type of illustration that I would be looking for in a fiction book. Um, it's got enough pages, but it's not too thick. River's Journey, very similar, only this one isn't about the water cycle. It's just the like travel, the trip that a river takes to the sea. Again, rhyming. It's a slightly different style of text. It has a repeated phrase, this river flowing, where is it going? Doesn't have the onomatopoeia. It's written by the same person, Sally Walker, but the style of the prose is slightly different. But highly recommend both of these. I'm recording this a few weeks before Easter. They would be perfect for an Easter basket. Okay, now I'm going to switch from board books to a fairly thick chapter book. Friends, I'm obsessed with Lauren Child. Like if I ever met her in real life, I would totally fangirl over her. This Clarice Bean series is something that I needed in my life when I was the age that this is appealing to. So they're chapter books. I like that they're just a little bit shorter, just a little bit shorter than I would normally expect. And I think that makes it easier for a younger hand to hold. Part of what makes the Clarice Bean series absolutely wonderful is the graphic design of the text itself. So let me flip through to find an example of what I'm talking about. You'll get like, well, and illustrations as well, which I'll show, but there's like bolded text. You'll see like sometimes the font will be much larger, um, like that, right? Like it all of a sudden will be larger. There are illustrations. Let me show you an example. Illustrations, and they follow the story of Clarice Bean, who Clarice Bean, like even sometimes, like look at this, sitting at the table in the complete and utter dark. Like that's in the story. I love these books. So why do I love Clarice Bean so much? Well, first of all, let me talk about this one. This Clarice Bean book is about Clarice Bean worrying about the world around her. She's worried about the earth, like she's worried about the world. It's actually perfect for Earth Day. She's worried about all the stuff around her and including her family. And the thing I love about that, as someone who specializes in gifted education, is that gifted kids have what we call early moral concern. They worry about the world around them before kids their age typically do. And sometimes they're not ready to process all the implications of it. And I feel like Lauren Child captures that perfectly in this book. I absolutely adore the Clarice Bean books. The Christmas one is one of my favorite Christmas books for young readers. So I would say this is a nice middle, what do we call this? Like upper elementary. I wouldn't call it middle grade. It's a little young for like seventh grade or eighth grade, but fourth through sixth grader, a good third grade reader Yeah, look at this. And there's like facts, right? Learn about the sycamore tree. Can you even talk about sycamore trees without singing a song from Pocahontas? I don't think you can, because I can't. But Clarice Bean, Smile, going on my spring faves list. Next is Dear Bookstore by Emily Arrow, illustrated by Genevieve. Let me try my high school French on you. Genevieve Gubeau. I think I would say that. Gubeau. I think the D would be silent. Not sure. My high school French doesn't always serve me well. Yes, I took a couple years in college, but they still mock me when I'm in France. This book is fantastic. It's basically a love story about bookstores. So the little girl in it goes to a bookstore and she finds all the magic. She says, "Do you believe in magic?" my friend asked, "because I think this place is full of magic." And it is the magic of a bookstore. If you've heard my keynote, Picturing the Gifted, you know that I adore and found magic in a bookstore as a child. So when I was 7 years old, my neighborhood bookstore that I was allowed to walk to was a place of magic for me. So you can see like actual, there's some magical realism going on here in this book. It's really a delight. So if you're a book lover, I just loved this. You changed my life. You're the reason I write. You're the reason I love dinosaurs. You're the reason I want to go to Mars. You're the reason I paint. I have chills. I have literal chills. I loved that book. Dear Bookstore. If you know a book reader, like if you know a book lover, even an adult, this would be a delight. Almost like David Small and Sarah Stewart's book, The Library. So fabulous. All right. Next is a book that is on my